Morning, it's Sunday, July 20th, and this morning I want to talk about something that has bothered me for a very long time. As you all know, I was a graduate of City College, and tuition for me when I went to City College was $4 a semester. So when I look at the cost of education in this country right now, it's outrageous. But what I find even more outrageous is the student loan programs, where students are getting ripped off with various interest rates that are totally out of control. A student could sign up for a loan that will charge an interest rate of 8 or 10%. It is a shanda, if you're familiar with that word. It is a shanda that the United States government doesn't have an interest rate cap on student loans. These people who are struggling to get themselves educated are going to be major contributors to our lives. And they should not be forced to pay 10% on the money they need to go to college. Student loans should probably be fixed. The rate should be fixed at, say, 2 or 3%. But it isn't that way. And now we have a situation where 460,000 student loan borrowers are going to be denied a repayment plan. And they make up about a third of the 1.5 million people who are unfortunately stuck in this student loan program. The Education Department will reject nearly 500,000 applicants from seeking to make lower payments on their student loans, according to the internal documents that were shown to Politico. Now, when somebody goes to college and they expect to make a decent living and they expect to contribute to society, why should they be ripped off? And the colleges are part of the problem also with their high tuition rates, etc. But the federal agency is going to deny 460,000 federal student loan borrowers who selected the lowest payment option for their payment plan. And those low options were based on the income that these people were making. So if they were making a small amount of money, why shouldn't they pay back at a lower rate? Why are we ripping these poor students off? Because that's the way we operate. Nobody gives anybody a break when they're loaning them money. And I can understand part of that, but not when it's linked to a cause like getting a decent education. And that's a whole other story that we should be talking about. The fees for tuitions in colleges, state, local, and private institutions. The prices are outrageous. In fact, the prices are so high that many can't afford to go to college, and they never will go to college. So when we have a situation where the Education Department spokesperson says the lowest monthly payment option was part of this thing called the SAVE plan, and the SAVE plan would cap pay payments at 5% of the borrower's discretionary income. Now, if that was 5% of their discretionary income, some of these people are not making a lot of money. And if I look at these situations and check the numbers of people who will probably never ever get a chance to pay off their student loan until they retire. You go to college for 4 years, you build up a debt, and then you get a decent job. Not a great job, a decent job, and you can't afford to pay the loan off quickly. And now we have the Trump administration phasing out a lot of the current options. Give him credit for this for being a burden on the taxpayers. And he called for simplifying the loan repayment process as part of the broader strategy to reshape how students borrow and how they pay back their loan. But there's nothing in these plans that say they're going to cap the interest rates. And maybe colleges have to take on some responsibility because of their outrageous tuition rates. But for many who want to get a good education and want to go to a good school, taking out a loan is something that they must do, or they feel that they must do. Why don't many of these people recognize the fact that they don't have to go to a full-time college to get a great education? They can go to college like I went to college. I worked my way through college. It took me 10 years to graduate. When I went to college, tuition wasn't what it is today. And I went to a great school, City College, CCNY. Very reasonable, and I ended up with a great career. So this whole student loan mess, these 460,000 people that are getting screwed, is a disgrace to our country. It's a disgrace that we rip people off when they're trying to get a good education. The student loan people are concerned that if they don't do it right, people will have a higher monthly payment and end up paying more money than they should. And it's a disgrace that we couldn't reconcile this thing right from the get-go. But I'm sure that the loaners, the people who lend money, are not going to let you get away cheap. Ugly situation, and I don't believe that there's anybody working on it that wants to really correct it properly, even though Trump is trying to do so. So have a great day if you can, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye. Thank you.